Moving on, allies of Deputy President William Ruto were planning a parallel meeting in Mumias, Kakamega County on Saturday, have vowed to proceed with it despite its cancellation by police. This now sets the stage for a confrontation with the law enforcement authority.
The lawmakers accused police of sabotaging their meeting despite being the first group to get a permit for it. Former Kakamega Senator Bon Halwale read mischief in the ongoing public sensitization forums on the BBI report, saying they are intended to mutilate the original draft that was released by President Uhuru Kenyatta at the Bomas of Kenya.
We are confirming in this press conference that the two active party leaders here are Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. They are going to attend. I'm also confirming that on Monday, I held such a consultative meeting with the leadership of Trans Nzoia. In the afternoon, I held a consultative meeting with the leadership of Bungoma. I have already held consultative meetings with Kakamega. Now I'm here in Vihiga, and tomorrow I'm going to be in Busia. This is serious business. We do not need any permission from any party leader, from a leader of any other community, for us to talk to ourselves. And this is why I want to appeal to the leader of the Orange Democratic Movement, who is also my neighbor, Honorable Raila Odinga, achunge lines. Ajue kuna urafiki ambao husungumziwa kwa mambo ya hadhara na kuna mambo ingine ambao husungumziwa kifamilia. Yenye tunazungumza Mumias ni mambo yetu. Ni kweli kwamba yeye ni jirani mwema, tumekuwa tukifanya na yeye kazi, lakini he cannot call a parallel meeting in Bukhungu and purport to lead the proud people of the Luo Nation.
Speaking at a press conference in Chavakali, Vihiga County, Dr. Boni said the meeting were part of an ODM agenda intended to create the position of an all-powerful Prime Minister and a three-tie government in a move he added that will place much burden on the taxpayer.
The problem we have with the Bukhungu rally is that the president launched the baby called BBI in broad daylight on live transmission, and there was a beautiful baby who came out who became acceptable to all of us. Those of us who are in Tanga with Honorable Ruto, those who are in ANC for Kenya with Mudavadi, every Kenyan said we are behind this nice baby. Now ODM and its party leader, they now want to mutate the baby so that the baby becomes a monster that is now dividing Kenyans. We are saying yes to BBI that was launched in Bomas, and saying no to any other mutated BBI that will be launched through a rally or anywhere else. It is a poorly kept secret that the intention of doing these rallies is, one, to mutate BBI so that it deviates from what it gave in Bomas, to provide for an all-powerful prime minister, and two, to create a third tier of government that will create regional governments to satisfy the appetites of greedy governors who have served for 10 years and they don't want to go home.
Dr. Boni claims come ahead of the BBI event to be held in Kakamega, and which has caused a political storm in Western Kenya. In Nairobi, Mr. Washiali, who is also the National Assembly Majority Whip, claimed the Mumias meeting is purely meant to discuss the plight of the people of Western, while terming the Bukhungu meeting political. The lawmakers argue that with the gazettement of the BBI task force by President Uhuru Kenyatta on Monday, consultative meeting on the report should be left to them to collect views from the public in a structured way.
Mimi nakwambia Cleophas Malala, don't talk to us about 18th. Kwamba kutakuwa na mkutano Bukhungu, kwamba sijui watu lazima waende huko. Hapana, ambia sisi vile hawa wafanyakazi, hawa wamama, hawa vijana, maisha yao yataendelea baada ya hao kukumbwa na hii tabu kubwa kabisa ambayo imesababishwa na governor wetu wa Kakamega, Bwana Oparanya. Honorable Cleophas Malala, think twice. Hawa watu walikupigia kura na wako kupigia kura uwatishie, useme kwamba ni lazima waende stadium na hawa wako na njaa. I don't like that.
Hiyo BBI haitalisha Wakenya hapa Kakamega. Kwa hivyo tunawaambia, kabla hamjatuambia mambo ya BBI, mtuambie wafanyakazi wanaenda wapi.
The legislators maintain they are not opposed to the BBI report, but complain that the process has been hijacked by Orange Democratic Movement politicians. The MPs maintain that they will give the rally a wide berth, saying they will only attend meetings called by the steering committee and not politicians. Speaking at Serena Hotel in Nairobi, MPs Sakwa Bunyasi of Nambale, Washiali Alfred of Sabatia, John Waluke of Sirisia, Beatrice Adagala of Vihiga, Omboko Milemba of Omuhaya, Dan Wanyamavwebuye, Ernest Kagesi of Vihiga, and Christopher Aseka of Kwesero said it is only the steering committee that has the mandate to collect views from the public. Maslin Karembo, Destiny TV.
And moving on, new agriculture CS Peter Munya has assured residents of Ndumuru, Meru, Garemara, Isiolo, Samburu, Marsabit, and Bajir of the safety of new insecticides purchased by the government to spray locust.
Wananzige mara kwa mara
yetu amepewa waziri, tulisema tumshukuru rais wetu. Nenda upande ya Samburu. Saa hizi iko katikati ya mto hii. Inaitwa Wasonyiro. Mara inaenda tunapiga virimbi, mara debe inaenda huko. Wala wanapiga debe inarudi upande hii. Sasa tutakuwa tunaendelea na debe.
Tumewacha sasa karibu milioni 20 hapo. Baada ya siku 3 itakuwa imetoka kwa mayai. Na itajaa hapa. Sasa si uchukua vijana waziri. Chukua vijana, hii watoto hata wanatangatanga sana wanakosa kazi. Chukua vijana waende waue hii kitu.
Hii nzige imeingia nchi yetu kupitia kutoka nchi ya jirani. Na kama serikali ingeweza kufanya juhudi kubwa ya kuzuia wakati huo, hizi nzige hazingesambaa mpaka sasa inaelekea Mount Kenya. Hatuwezi kuwalaumu wataalamu kwa sababu hawana uzoefu. Na enda ikawa zile pesticide ambaye ziko effective hazipatikani kwa rahisi. Ile juhudi wamefanya tunapongeza, na tunahimiza serikali pia waweze kushirikiana na shirika kama FAO ambayo iko katika nchi tofauti, nchi ambazo zinakuwa na uvamizi ya nzige mara nyingi kuliko sisi, ili kabla hatujanunua pesticide tuweze kupata ushauri ya kutosha.
Kishia msiwe na wasiwasi mwingi, hii nzige imetutia wasiwasi. Na ni kweli hiyo wasiwasi si bure, kwa sababu sikijaa hapa tutamaliza kila kitu. Wanyama hawatapata nyasi, chakula haitapatikana. Kwa hivyo it is a national emergency we are taking very seriously. But imebeba chemicals ya kutosha ya kuweza kuspray. Kwa hivyo tutagawa hiyo chemical ile baki hapa ya kumalizia hapa, alafu hiyo nyingine ibebwe ikielekea huko Wajia. Sasa hii ile shinda imekuwa kubwa ni kupata chemicals ambazo zinafaa kabisa kuua hizi nzige, kwa sababu hatujakuwa na nzige katika taifa kwa miaka mingi.
And the North Deputy County Commissioner Christopher Siele has ordered the arrest of parents who have failed to enroll their children who sat last year's KCPE in secondary schools. Take a look.
Mr. Siele warned that parents who are reluctant to take their children to Form 1 will not be spared. He lamented that some children are still loitering in villages even after the government directed 100% transition to secondary schools. He was speaking during the official commissioning of a 16.7 million shillings dam by the chairman of the National Drought Management Authority, Raphael Nzomo. The deputy county commissioner said the government wants all children to access secondary school education and the presidential directive should be obeyed. Reporting for Destiny TV, my name is Moneni Mugambi.
And a diplomatic row is simmering between Kenya and Uganda following a move by Kenyan officials to impound more than 36 million worth of milk products imported from the latter.
Uganda is accusing Kenya of violating the East African Community EAC protocol by impounding 43,000 kgs of milk powder and 262,632 liters of the Lato milk brand owned by Peel Dairy Farms Limited. The government of the Republic of Uganda protests the manner in which authorities in Kenya have continued to deliberately constrain and impose unwarranted restriction on the smooth importation of Uganda's milk and milk products into Kenya, and is deeply concerned about the illegal seizure of Ugandan-made milk under the Lato brand by authorities in Kenya on allegations that they are contraband, counterfeit and substandard. Sent to the Kenya High Commission in Kampala yesterday, Uganda said the seizure was carried out illegally from Lato distributors in Kenya, despite having been cleared by authorities in both countries, and no documentary justification was given to Peel Dairy Farms.
Maziwa inatoka Uganda. From Uganda there's an entry. Tuko na entry, tuko na East African Community certificates, tuko na all the documents, required documents likuje hapa. Pia tax, ushuru inalipwa, kila kitu inafanywa. Even at the border, there are some cartons wanatuanga for sampling. So everything is legal. Tuko na all the documents, all the certificates, they're in the office. I can even show them to you.
The ministry would like to note the legal seizures were executed despite the fact that the goods had been cleared for entry by the Kenyan Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Kenya Revenue Authority, Kenya Dairy Board, Kenya Bureau of Standards and Port Health Services. It said the ministry was concerned about the unfounded claim by Kenyan that the products were counterfeit and yet were being picked from the warehouse of authorized distributors with no documents issued when the products were seized. Uganda now wants Kenya to release the impounded milk products seized in operation, specifically targeting the milk, and compensate Peel Dairy Farms for any losses suffered. The letter said the ministry would like to recall that Uganda also has strategic sectors within her economy which experiences high levels of imports from Kenya that has not taken the route Kenya has taken. For Destiny TV Business News, I'm Jace Obure.
The earnings more than doubled between January and September 2019. The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data indicates that revenue from the railway line grew by 135% to 8.82 billion shillings compared to 3.74 billion shillings over the same period in 2018, largely driven by increased freight hauling.
The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data indicates that revenue from the railway line grew by 135% to 8.82 billion shillings compared to 3.7 billion shillings over the same period in 2018, largely driven by increased freight hauling. During the review period, revenue from SGR freight services nearly tripled to 7.54 billion from 2.61 billion shillings in 2018. On the other hand, passenger service grew at a much slower pace of 13% to 1.28 billion shillings. Despite a spike in gains, the revenue is significantly low given China Communication Construction Company. The operator requires an estimated 1.5 billion shillings a month and 18 billion shillings annually to operate the railway line. Although Kenya Railways had budgeted to earn 24 billion shillings from cargo services between July 2018 and June 2019, and the state body fell by 65.56% below target with 8.4 billion shillings earned. The SGR is proving to face difficulties in breaking even as the 5-year grace period awarded by the China Road and Bridge Corporation came to an end last year, forcing the government to go into taxpayer funds to pay back 35 billion shillings. Kenya borrowed 324 billion shillings for the project from the bank in May 2014 to be repaid in 15 years with a grace period of 5 years. This year, another 71.4 billion shillings is expected to go towards China Exim Bank for the loan extended to finance the first phase of the standard gauge railway. Data presented to the National Assembly by Treasury shows loan payments to Exim Bank of China will increase to 84.3 billion shillings for the 2020-2021 and 111.4 billion shillings in the 2021-2022 financial years. This has in turn prompted the President to greenlight the issuance of 150 billion infrastructure bond this year, nearly half of which will go into settling the SGR loan. The government bond, which is part of the 800 billion shillings infrastructure bond expected to be issued over the next 2 years, will also be used to complete all ongoing infrastructure as the Jubilee rushes to fulfill its 10,000-kilometer road pledge by 2022. Over the past few months, importers have cited that the standard gauge railway has failed to achieve its goal of reducing container transportation cost by 30%, with the cost going up to 50% more using the rail system. This is because when using the SGR, they incur extra fees, more time spent clearing goods at the Nairobi Inland Container Depot, and the same need to send a truck to collect the goods from there, while moving goods via road cost 65,000 shillings and 85,000 shillings for 20 feet and 40 feet containers, respectively. The average cost for transporting the same container from Mombasa to Nairobi via rail is 142,000 shillings and 212,000 shillings, respectively. For Destiny TV Business News, I'm Jace Obure.
We will now take a quick break. Do not go far. We'll be back with a sports story.
Are you a parent who is busy and working? And do you need somebody to take care of your child as you work to enjoy the peace of mind? Are you disappointed by your house help without notice? Destiny Daycare has come to bridge that gap. Is a conducive environment to leave your child. We have trained personnel and constant supervision in secure environment. Every child is given personalized care. Thus, it's a home away from home. We are located at the Jesus House of Praise Meru Mega Tent Town Gate, Gitembene. Drop-off is at 7 a.m. and pick-up time latest is at 5:30 p.m. Your child must be of 9 months and above. Well, for more information, you can contact us on 0725 998557 0725 8557. Destiny Daycare, a home away from home.
We are gathered here today to celebrate the drawing together of two lives. This commitment is not to be entered into lightly, but with certainty, mutual respect, a sense of honor, and eternality.
How do you picture your perfect wedding? Have you ever dreamt of your wedding featured on television? Ladies and gentlemen, some things in life are not done every day. And when you do them, wisdom demands that we document for our consumption and posterity. Your wedding is one of the most important dates in life. Destiny Media Connections would like to stand with you and document in a way that only Destiny does. Talk about exquisite photoshoots, TV coverage, and a well-manicured video to help you create memories. Talk to us and book your space. Call 0721 140 831 or send us an email via contact@destinyfm.co.ke. Destiny Television, impacting your life.